Good morning, USC. I'm Leah Kaczmarek.
And I'm Evan Newton. Thank you for spending your Friday morning with us.
Here's a look at what we have for you this morning. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh assault allegations remain at a standstill. What we know.
And rumors of what band might be performing at Super Bowl 53 and how people are reacting.
And for your Feel Good Friday story of the week, some USC students made the most of their break during Hurricane Florence. See how.
All that and more coming your way on Friday Morning Live.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio. Feel good. Feel informed. Feel Friday. This is Friday Morning Live.
The vote still has not been taken for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The meeting to vote was canceled earlier this week after allegations were made of Kavanaugh sexually assaulting someone in the 1980s. Both Democrats and Republicans are trying to decide when the accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, will testify. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley has given her till today to decide whether she will testify against Kavanaugh in the coming week. However, Ford and her lawyers want the FBI to complete an investigation into the matter before she takes the stand.
An interesting story out of California. The West Coast state passed a bill last month banning restaurants from handing out plastic straws. The bill does not actually go into effect until the first day of 2019. According to the bill, paper or metal straws can be handed out by these restaurants. Establishments will receive 2 warnings for violations and will receive a $25 fine for each day after that. The law does not include fast food locations or convenience stores. It will only apply to full-service restaurants. Customers may still receive these straws upon request.
One of the biggest struggles for college students is learning how to cook on their own. On Wednesday, the USC Center for Health and Wellbeing hosted a cooking class on how to eat well. SGTV's Anna King has more on how to beat the freshman 15.
Wednesday, the Center for Health and Wellbeing hosted an Eat Well cooking class with dietitian Olivia Jolly. She spoke on affordable and on-the-go meal ideas college students could consider in achieving a more healthy lifestyle.
So the first thing I would advise you to do is go, when you're looking for produce, search for produce that's in season, as it's going to be more local and less expensive. Also, we have our Healthy Carolina Farmers Market on Green Street on Tuesdays, where you can pick up some of that produce right here on campus from a local farmer.
She also gave advice on healthier on-campus locations students could visit.
As far as our on-campus vendors, if you have the meal swipe, that's more helpful, but a couple of places that I've noticed on campus dining that have great options are the Olilo place in Russell House. You can make a nice green bowl or choose like leafy greens as your base. Also, Colloquium Cafe has a build your own salad kind of bar, and then they have different flatbreads and sandwiches and healthier options that'll give you more whole grains and produce.
During the class, the students got the opportunity to make pizzas from scratch, vegetable salads, and fruit salads. The class ended with students getting to try their meals, and in addition to taking home leftovers, they also took with them new information on healthy living. For SGTV News 4, I'm Anna King.
Thanks, Anna. If you would like to know more about eating well, you can visit the Student Health Services website. And remember to follow us on Twitter at SGTV News 4 for more coverage of campus news.
Nearly 200 South Carolina roads are still closed as flooding worsens after Hurricane Florence devastated the northeastern part of the state last weekend. An 18-mile stretch of Interstate 95 is among the closed roads, and other sections of the highway are closed in North Carolina. Transportation Department spokesman Pete Poore said the 4 rivers they are watching aren't expected to crest until early next week. To see current conditions of state roads, check out the SCDOT website. This week's Feel Good Friday story. Last week, USC canceled nearly an entire week of classes in preparation for Hurricane Florence. SGTV's Spencer Buckler has more on how students kept themselves busy during their time off.
Last weekend, Hurricane Florence rolled into Columbia, and while the impacts were much less intense than expected, tweets like these concerned USC students and convinced them to get out of harm's way. A lot of students made the most of their week off, taking the opportunity to go home or on a trip. Elena Barilla visited her family at Clemson.
I got nervous and I didn't stay in Columbia for the weekend, but I did go somewhere else. Dun dun dun. I went to Clemson University. Woo boo. To visit my little sister, and I actually went to a Clemson football game on Saturday. It was family weekend, so my whole family was there from New York, and it was a good time. The whole family ended up wearing orange, but I would not give in. I was saying the quote from The Blind Side all week. It's when Sandra Bullock, who's playing the mother, Leanne Tui, says, "I will not wear that gaudy orange. I just won't. I will not wear it."
Some people decided to go explore a new city. SGTV's Olivia Countess went to Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Olivia Countess.
I'm Raphael.
And we're at the Ponce City Market in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's basically, my family planned to go to Columbia, but then we told them that the storm was too much, going to just cut through Columbia. So we went to Atlanta because we have family here. Here we are.
Olivia shared her entire trip on social media. She took a visit to one of Atlanta's most popular attractions, World of Coke. And check this one out. They went to a rotating sushi bar. That is something that you cannot find on the USC campus. A lot of students chose to go home. Sarah Sharp did just that.
So I am driving back to school after about a week at home. The coast is in really bad shape, so I would hate to say that I'm thankful for it, but it gave me some great time with my mom. I got to see my dad. I got to see my dogs, which I love so much.
Come here. Ethan! Hi, buddy.
I have to say that Hurricane Florence just gave me some irreplaceable time with my family, and for that I'm thankful.
Some of us weren't as adventurous and decided to ride out the storm here in Columbia. I was one of those people.
So all three of us decided to stay here in Columbia. The storm hasn't started quite yet, but we're getting ready. We're just relaxing. We are watching some Netflix, and we got our potato chips and tropical smoothies right downstairs. So we are ready to take on this storm.
When I realized weather conditions weren't too bad, I took a shot at meteorology. The storm rolled in around 4 a.m. this morning, bringing winds and rain. Right now it's not too windy. We might be a little bit protected here on the horseshoe, but as you can see... Listen, I had a lot of time inside and I was just trying to keep myself entertained. And however you entertained yourself this last week, we are glad you got back to campus safely.
From the horseshoe, I'm Spencer Buckler, SGTV News 4.
Thanks, Friday Morning Live. Peace out. Hope you had a good hurricane break.
Maroon 5 has reportedly been selected as the NFL's pick for the Super Bowl 53 halftime show. The league itself claims it has made no official decision yet, but coming from sources who have previously leaked these selections in the past years, it is likely audiences will be watching the band in Atlanta come February. The decision comes with a relatively negative reaction across social media platforms. This disappointment stems from the hope the NFL would have gone with a local performer for the halftime show, as Atlanta is home to talent such as Outkast, Ludacris, Usher, and more. With the fans seemingly unhappy, a change could be made before the selection is official.
Demi Lovato's mom has broken her silence about the pop star's overdose nearly 2 months after the scare. Diana De La Garza says her daughter is doing very well after some recovery, but that day was not so peaceful. De La Garza made an appearance on Newsmax TV recalling that tragic day. She said she remembers getting texts with well wishes for Demi's recovery, and she had no idea what was going on. She says, quote, "I think the reason she is alive today is because of the millions of prayers that went up that day." She also credits medical professionals at the Cedars-Sinai Hospital saying, quote, "I couldn't have asked for a better team of people to save her life." You can watch more entertainment news and stay updated on your favorite celebrities by following SGTV's Talk of the Town.
Thank you all for tuning in to Friday Morning Live. We hope you watch every week at 9:30 a.m. live from SGTV's Facebook page.
And be sure to check out all of SGTV News 4's shows and coverage by following us on our SGTV social media. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you next week, Carolina. Forever to thee.